Hi Pisces, and welcome to your past life and soul contracts tarot reading. In this reading, we're going to look at the past life energies that are most predominant in your life, this journey, life lessons, different cycles that are still playing out, karmics, soulmates, all of that. So let's get right into your reading. Okay, Pisces. So for karmic contracts this lifetime, you have two, and this could play out, in your family, in your friendships, in a romantic partnership. But there's going to be two very intense karmic connections that enter your life this journey, and this is unresolved energies from the past life. This also plays into some of the soul lessons that you're working on this lifetime. But there are two very strong. And now for the heart chakra, we have 5 showing up. So this is, I'm looking at this more as romance, the heart chakra. There's going to be 5 people that are very significant, 5 loves this lifetime that grow you and expand you. And again, they could be karmics and soulmates, and some of you could be part of this twin flame journey. And over here, this is your soul lessons for this lifetime, and this is one. All right, so Pisces, you are going to have a major shift of events at some point in your life where your life is one way and then it's just going to completely turn and become something else. This could be a career change. This could be like a midlife crisis. This is dark night of the soul. There's just, and it's not to say there's only one soul lesson you're working on this lifetime, but it's one thing is very significant. This life journey is quite focused on spiritual growth and activation more than anything else. Okay, so let's now look at your soulmates. And we have 3. So this could be friends, family members, romance, but there's going to be 3 people that are soulmates, and they are very positive connections in your life. These are not relationships where you're going to be hurt and harmed. There's always growth, stretching and challenge in every connection, but there's 3 very strong, solid soul contracts that are meant to be of a positive, loving, supportive nature for you this lifetime. And again, it doesn't mean there's only 3, but there are 3 that are the most important, the strongest in this life journey. 2 karmics working on one very specific soul lesson, and there's going to be 5 people that really capture your heart. But the dot in the middle, there's one that really stands out like the love of your life. So let's pull a card to look at this past life energy that is impacting this current journey the most. Oh, nice. So yes, you are quite spiritual with this coming out. And, I did see that here with the crown chakra showing as just one dot, one main focus. And to me, that's all about, spiritual activation. This, is the Hindu Shiva. And this is, somebody who is a fighter for human rights, is very empathic, spiritually gifted, also blessed and protected by the higher realms. You are a very spiritual being, Pisces, and just depending on where you're at in your life journey, you might be like, what, I believe in spirit, I believe in God, but I'm living my life, I'm doing my thing. There is going to be a point in your life where everything just changes, your perspective shifts. It's like the angels switch a light switch on in your head, and you just start seeing different, and you start walking a spiritual path. Every single one of you, at some point in this life journey, you are really going to switch off from 3D and go into spiritual and connect in to Mother Earth Gaia, the angelic realm. Many of you are spiritually gifted, and you're going to become even more aware of those gifts, no doubt, with this coming out. This is the anchor of the reading, and I just know that you guys have been working on this spiritual growth, this activation, this evolution for several lifetimes, because now it comes down to this lifetime. This is the completion of a very long journey of soul evolution for you guys. And that's why I know at some point it's just like your life is going to switch and you're going to become much more spiritual. Some of you are more spiritual throughout life than others, but no matter what, you will switch too, and you will go even deeper and expand wider and go into realms that you don't even imagine in this moment. So let's pull some more cards and see what else is going to come through to give us guidance about this past life energy that you are wrapping up this lifetime. Okay, so we have greed and generosity, and I'm just going to get them all out. Betrayal. And fields. Okay. So your karmics came through quite strong right off the bat. Right here, betrayal. So part of what you're working out this lifetime with these karmics is where you were very much betrayed by this person, or you very much betrayed them. Okay, there was a lot of dishonesty and deception that transpired in the life that you guys shared before. And greed and generosity, I feel that there's times through this past life where life was really good for you, and then there was other times where it was quite restrictive. But this betrayal energy, it's almost like somebody withheld love, withheld resources, lied to you, or steered you down the wrong path in this life journey. And so here they are coming in, as a karmic, so you guys can balance out this energy. And most likely a very similar situation will repeat, but this lifetime you are meant to make a different choice or to handle it in a much different capacity. All right, so your karmics, the resolution and balancing of that energy is very highlighted just based on what came out in these first three cards more than anything else. And with the fields, this is an indication that you lived in a very rural area this past lifetime. You could have been a farmer, or this could have been a point in human history where there just wasn't a lot of development yet. There wasn't a lot of technology yet, but you probably have a deep connection to nature, to open spaces, the wide open blue sky with, the sun shining, clouds rolling by, flowers, trees, and you probably do not like confined spaces. And even if you live in the city, there's a desire in your heart to return to this place of lush greenery. It could even, for some of you, be more of a tropical type of farm fields. Okay, but that is this particular card. It's as though this life and this journey, this is where you really connected with Mother Earth, when you really had a big shift in understanding. And even though you were this beautiful light in this life, you dealt with a lot of heavy energy, which I think comes from past lifetimes where you were, living more in shadow than you were in the light. And then here you come into this past lifetime and you're living your journey in the light. And then you have a lot of treachery and betrayal that scattered throughout your life journey. And that could make you in this lifetime be very weary, very cautious, have a hard time opening up to people, really always feeling like you have to watch your back, like the other shoe's going to drop. And, because this energy is still very present from last lifetime, you could be experiencing that where people, you don't know who you can trust and who you can't. And, it's like at times there's this beautiful flow of energy and then it's cut off. Especially this could go into parent connections. Some of you could have had parents that were either very like empty and neglectful and not affectionate and loving, and just really withheld. They could have provided financially for you, but they really withheld emotionally. Or you could have had parents that spoiled you, that you had a life of luxury, but again, that emotional bond and connection was withheld from you. So I do feel whoever raised you in your last lifetime, whether it was your biological parents, you were adopted, it was grandparents, you did not feel that connection, that bond to mother and father, and it really stuck with you throughout life. And that's why these issues played out, because there was this deep seeking for connection and for love, and you weren't very good at discerning the truth of somebody's energy, because your heart was in such a good place of light despite what you had been through. Okay, and so some of that absolutely plays out this lifetime, and you could find yourself in a lot of confusion, because here you are showing as Shiva, the fighter for humanity, the fighter for good of all, and you get betrayed, and you can feel like life has really shortchanged you at moments along this journey. And so those of you that just always dream of like living in the mountains or living on a farm or living in a vast open space without a lot of people, it's because of the way you lived in your last lifetime. So let's pull some more cards. And we're going to, after we get through the journey of this life, we are going to go deep diving into the karmic contracts, as well as, the beautiful soulmates. So we have trees. There's that vast openness again, that foresty feel for some of you. Father. And Native American. That makes a lot of sense right there. And Shiva, Indian. So some of you, this could have been a life in India, or some of you could have been, born into the indigenous people, the Native American tribes of Mother Earth Gaia. Now, the main thing here is this betrayal for many of you came about from your father. Your father may have abandoned you, may have harmed you in unspeakable ways, may have really hurt your mother. It's just this part of this betrayal, this karmic, it was played out as your father last lifetime. And it could be your father this lifetime. It could come through as a romance. It could come through as a friend or a different family member. Okay, but this is that person. And so they really hurt you. They really let you down. And this lifetime, you're still working on that energy, working through that trauma, that heartache, that pain. And I don't feel last lifetime you gained the growth and the soul evolution that was intended through this relationship and experience. It really hindered you and set you back big time. All right. And then with trees and Native American, that goes back to you guys being spiritually gifted and walking more in the light, being spiritually based more in general. But this life journey, I'm telling you, there comes a point where you just walk the line. You are spiritual. You live your life by karma, and it doesn't matter, like the things that used to bother you and were such a big deal earlier in life, all of that falls away, and it's the thirst of the knowledge of spirit and connection of spirit that just pulls you and drives you through the rest of this life journey. And I just see you evolving into this beautiful spiritual being, like this orb of light, and you are going to overcome these heavier energies. So let's pull some tarot. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Last lifetime, But you see here, you definitely, there came a point where you became very spiritual. Despite what had happened to you, you could have been very religious all the way through, but you went through a lot of trials and tribulations, which ultimately comes to the soul. And you see the phoenix rising from the ash. That's you this lifetime, from all the trials and tribulations you endured and experienced your last life journey. It was a big time preparation for the major awakening and breakthrough that you have this life journey. So it's like all that you were denied, that love and affection that you were denied, it made you stronger. It made you rely on yourself much more. And during that life journey, that didn't feel like much. It felt like a huge burden. But that experience allows you to be very strong and independent. This life journey, you're very resourceful, and you can handle things on your own, a lot on your own that most people couldn't. And it comes from what you went through last lifetime, and it just made you so much wiser as a soul, okay? But there's traumas that remain that you were never able to work past. All right, so under this Father, we have the Tower and the Chariot. So this Father in your last lifetime, I feel was very abusive to you. Very abusive. It wasn't like this father just abandoned and left you to your own devices. This father was very abusive to you, and there came a point where you may have ran away, or you went off on your own and you left this relationship behind. It's like you had a very shattered beginning last lifetime, a very hard upbringing, but you made it through and you moved on. You left your father for sure behind, but I feel like there's other family members, because whatever went on here, I feel like a lot of people looked the other way. It just had to do with the time frame in which this was, and there came a point where you moved on. You cut ties and you went on about your way, and you were a lot happier after this point. So I feel this is probably like around mid-20s, early 30s, where you finally had the emotional strength to leave this very painful past behind. And you know, if people could not be accountable for what they did to you, it's like, okay, fine, I'm out of here. And you were able to just like leave it behind. However, the emotional wounds carried with you for the rest of your days, even though you were much more prosperous in your later years. And that's why it comes into this lifetime. All right, on the Native American, we have the Two of Wands and we have the Ten of Wands. So I do feel many of you are part of a twin flame journey, and this person was your mate in last lifetime. And you know, we do have this Native American energy, and it doesn't mean that you were living in a teepee, okay? It just really matters the time frame in which this is. And so you could have been living in a teepee. This could be, you know, years and years and years ago, or this could be more recent, you know, in modern times where you're still Native American descendant, but you live in a modern house. But wherever you were, it was a very open space. It was much more rural than it was city or town. It was not like that at all. Like, I feel a lot of distance and space in between people. And you know, here you are, you and your twin flame, and this was a very heavy life journey for both of you. I do feel that it got much better, you know, as you moved on in your later years. But it came from like your own energy, your own work. Man, Pisces, you guys had a really hard life journey last lifetime. And so if this lifetime has been filled with a lot of challenges, it's because you were prepared for it, and you can handle this so well, like way better than you give yourself credit for, just because of everything you've been through this last lifetime. And I do see like the bigger completion of a cycle, because we got the 10 of Wands showing up right there. And look at, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 Wands cards, and then you have 2 major arcana. So Wands is spiritual energy, the ether, also the action and the movement forward. And all of this energy being nothing but wands, past lifetime, you could have been a fire sign. But I see where you were really being stimulated at the soul for a lot of growth, a preparation for this lifetime to wrap up this big soul cycle you've been working on. And Pisces, this is leading to like ascension, where I'm not sure, like if you complete everything that you've set out for this lifetime, you may not choose to reincarnate your next being here on the earth plane. I feel you will have access to other worlds to incarnate, to learn, to experience, to grow, because again, you are completing a major cycle at the soul, and it also comes through with the crown, and you're going to be done with all of this energy. So that's why many of you have encountered a lot of struggles and challenges this lifetime, especially around parents and resources, because you're balancing out these unresolved energies of last lifetime, because you're meant to be done with it, completed. And there's two karmic relationships. One was definitely your father last lifetime, and that in this lifetime it's going to be the final balancing, the dissolvement of your tie with this particular soul. All right, let's pull some spiritual cards, since it is very prominent in your reading that you are having a spiritual awakening this lifetime, a big time ascension. Astrology, activation, and the Lightworker. Yep, see, there you go. So astrology coming out right here. You started learning about astrology last lifetime, or you actually, I shouldn't even say that. I feel you had been working on that, but last lifetime you may have actually done it professionally. Okay, so those of you who are really drawn into astrology, there's purpose. You mastered that, and if you focus and spend time learning, you will awaken and you will activate that knowledge within you, and it will it will be secondhand to you. You will learn much quicker than other people because you've already mastered this before. And again, I feel like you did it professionally. And also with the Lightworker, this is talking about all this heavy energy you've been working with, because this is who you are. Okay, you are a light worker. You are a much more evolved being than a lot of people walking around on the earth, and that's why it's important for you to wrap up these unresolved energies from past lifetime, because again, this is the awakening, the ascension for you. You've earned this from many lifetimes before, and what you achieve in this lifetime is really about completion, so that you can move on to like the next level, the next dimension, the next world. And you know, this challenging relationship, this karmic that comes through this life journey, is going to be very activating for you, with the light, with the soul energy, with the remembering of who and what you are. But this time around, you are so much stronger and more empowered, and you are able to stand up for yourself, protect yourself, speak your mind, speak your truth. And last lifetime, I don't feel that was so much the case. All right, let's pull some more cards. The third eye portal, vision, clairvoyance, clarity, confusion. Look at that. There you go. Yes, you are special, Pisces. Next is sanctuary, healing, comfort, faith, restoration. And that's the balancing and completion of these soul contracts. And look at this, the heart portal, receptivity, generosity, and mistrusting. So that comes out over on the Lightworker. You have third eye and heart chakra coming through in this reading, Pisces. And again, that's just another confirmation of the spiritual awakening that you're meant to have, and walk the rest of your journey in that path, in the light, with the angels. Some of you being astrologists, some of you being healers, card readers, mediums, all right, because you have the third eye here. So once your third eye is activated, that's when that big shift takes place for you in this life journey, Pisces. and there's going to be a lot of healing in the heart chakra from the karmics. And I know there's two coming through in this reading. We're going to pull more cards, but as far as the past life energy, it's really just talking about the father energy. So that spills over into this lifetime. And again, the body is just a, you know, costume for the soul. And so somebody being your father last lifetime doesn't mean they'll be your father this lifetime. They could be a friend, they could be your mom, they could be your cousin, they could come through as a romantic partnership, okay? Because the soul is genderless, the body is the costume. And so don't get hung up on, oh my God, that's gross. People are like that, and I'm like, well, it's not, the soul isn't human. Like, it's genderless, it's an energy, it's a, you know, personality, it's a stream of consciousness that tries on all these different costumes to evolve itself, and through each costume there's different story and life journey that's attached to it. So this karmic is the one that's coming through the strongest. This is going to be your hardest challenging connection and relationship this lifetime, all right? And this person really hurt you. They were abusive last lifetime, and you know, I feel like at some point you walked away from everything, but this person may have outright abandoned you at some point, okay? And with the sanctuary, once you have this activation this lifetime, that and everything begins to change, the healing, the clarity, all of that comes into play for you, and you are able to let a lot of heavy stuff go that you've been experiencing, and you continue the rest of your journey this lifetime being the light worker. All right, so I'm going to pull cards about the karmics first. Okay, so we have Divine Feminine and Flames, Attractive, Charismatic, sometimes I just cannot pronounce things. You know what it says. Charismatic. There we go. Passionate. Okay. Next is the Illuminaries, Destiny, Northern Star, Past Life. Now we have Bringer of Flames, Exciting or Sensual Rendezvous, and Seven of Roses, Incompatibility, Struggle, Withering. Okay, so this life journey, I definitely feel one of these shows up as a romantic partnership at some point, okay? Because we do have the Divine Feminine of Flames with the Illuminaries and Past Life. So one of your karmics from past life shows up in, well, I shouldn't say from past life, one of your connections from last life, which is playing out as a karmic, this journey is definitely going to be experienced in a romantic sense, and it's going to be very intense, this relationship. And then the other karmic also appears to be a romantic connection. This could also be like a friend tie, but they both look to be romantic. And it's like, this is something that happens very hot and heavy, like fast and furious, and then it just like withers and dwindles away into nothingness, all right? And it may surprise you because it's like really intense, and then it just fizzles out and it's gone. And again, this is unresolved energy from past lifetime, and there's a lesson to be gained through each of these karmics. So let's take a look at what those lessons are. All right, so the main thing is the six of activations, which jumped out. And this right here is truly you going to another dimension. A lot of activation taking place in the third eye, the crown chakra, which we've already seen. So that's when you resolve these karmic energies, that's when you fully turn on, Pisces. All right, over here we have the Eight of Intuition, and we have the Lightworker again. So this really intense romantic connection is to teach you a better discernment when it's time to walk away, when you need to be empathetic and understanding, and when you need to block and guard your energy. So some of you are really going to struggle with with being like emotionally manipulated throughout this life journey, like somebody you really care about, you really love, you give a free pass to for a lot of bad behavior, whereas other people you wouldn't tolerate it. So that's something this person is going to teach you, is to become very strong, assertive, empowered in yourself. And through that process, definitely dark night of the soul, because you awaken into the light worker. So you've got the light worker coming through twice, Pisces. And once these karmics are resolved, that's your journey. Now we have two of activations over here with this one, and the manifestations spirit guide. And so with this particular karmic, this is a lesson that you both have really struggled to learn from each other, and you've gone through many, many lifetimes trying to figure it out, okay? And so this lifetime, there's a spirit guide coming in to ensure that you guys come to completion, so the final manifestation in both of your lives can take place. And I know it includes both of you because we have the two of activations here. So through this karmic, you are both intended to be able to finally learn the lesson. And you know, what I think it is where you've got to think before you leap. And this is a situation, again, where it's really hot and heavy right away, and you go in fast and strong, and then it just fizzles out and fades away and almost falls out from beneath you, as well as that person. And it's to teach you guys, again, to be more stable within yourself, more firmly grounded, you know, and not have any sort of dependence upon another person for your existence. All right, this Pisces, wow, you are really getting independent and strong, and doing a lot on your own. And I know that's not fun and it's hard, but I see the payoff. It's because you are this beautiful spiritual being. You've got the light worker twice. And so this other karmic, it's like time for you guys to finally get this lesson, to really understand, and not carry the pain and the heartache with you for the rest of your life. So you guys have a spirit guide that wants to help you resolve this karmic entanglement and be done with each other for good, so that you can evolve and move on. And that sits over here really close to the heart healing. So this one is also going to be a painful journey for you, but it activates you and it awakens you and it makes you so much stronger, Pisces. And this one here, I feel, is the facilitator of dark night of the soul for you, so you can, you know, shed who you were, like your belief systems, patterns of behavior, just so many aspects of yourself, and emerge into your true divinity. A costume change mid-show, where you are now a light worker and you walk with the angels, and you're very tuned in to Gaia, to the energies around you, to other people, and you live your life in a much different respect and capacity, and you're more spiritually based. Some of you changing your careers to go into astrology, mediumship, you know, tarot reading, Reiki, just whatever your gift is, that's going to become the main focus of your journey. And some of you may have some kids to raise, and that's why this activation takes, you know, place later in your journey, is so that you can handle those earthly concerns and then move on to full attention on these spiritual matters. So, wow. And this one right here is going to be really hard to walk away from. And again, it's that father energy to me, and you had to walk away from it last lifetime. You have to walk away from it this lifetime. But this is, I'm telling you, what allows you to begin your awakening, your ascension journey this lifetime. And so let's pull these back, and these were your karmics. Let's look at your soulmates, these three beautiful soulmates that came through. Okay, so we have cooperation, project, teamwork, the Three of Roses. So this is somebody who is very, very supportive of you. And now we have Eight of Flames, mutual attraction, fiery connection, passionate communication. So Some of you, this beautiful soulmate is a love and romance. And now this could be, you know, your life journey, the one who goes with you to the end, or this just could be a really good relationship that you have at some point and it just doesn't pan out. But if it doesn't work out, I see you guys as being friends all of your life. This is a very loving and supportive. It's equal. This is not a relationship that is hurtful and harmful, okay? And some of you, this may come through as a friendship. So this is a romance or a friendship, but very loving, very supportive. Next is the Two of Emotions, chemistry, connection, romance, paired with the masculine of flames, enlightened, evolved yang. So this would go to confirm for me where, you know, with these heart connections, I feel you are part of a twin flame journey, and there it is. Pisces, one of these soulmates is your twin flame, and twin flame journeys are vastly different from each other. There's so much involved, but this is letting me know that you guys love each other. This is your twin flame, and you're meant to align this life journey. And lastly, we have the Four of Roses, greedy, closed, selfish, paired with the Six of Flames, admired, noticed, spotlight. So this last soulmate, I feel, is somebody who, you know, is a bit of an outcast or introvert, you know, doesn't get along well with a lot of people. But you, the way you connect with this person, the way you see them, the way you understand them, it's like you make the world a better place for them because you are in it and you connect with them, okay? And this could be a friend, a family member. I don't feel this one's so much a romance. This feels more friend, family, and maybe even child for some of you, okay? And it's like you are very significant to this person, or you could be the person who is more of an introvert or a little bit awkward, and the way this person just sees you and feels you, it's a breath of fresh air, and you really connect with them, okay? So let's see what lessons they help you understand, or the healing they bring to help you move through them. The Starseed and Five of Manifestations. This relationship is definitely somebody who is a more spiritually based connection with you, and I feel comes maybe after Dark Night of the Soul, just because we have the Five of Manifestations here, and then the Starseed. So this is a friend or a romance that comes after you like have gone through a lot of heavy things, and this is spiritually based. So you guys talk about spirit or esoteric or ghosts, or just, you know, that's more of where you guys connect and relate than what was on The Bachelor last night, okay? So over here we have the Manifestations Healer, and we have these Six of Manifestations. So very strong energy of an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or a fire sign, Aries or Aries, Leo, Sag. So with this, Pisces, this is a very loving relationship. And again, it doesn't mean that you don't go through ups and downs. Every single connection does, no matter how beautiful and spiritually based it is. And this is just a relationship that is very healing to your soul. You're very healing to this person. And with Six of Manifestations, it's equal. You guys are very much there for each other. And some of you, it's like this connection comes into your life after the storm. One of you being the elephant and the other one of you being the turtle. Both very wise beings, right? And a long journey through the desert. We find each other and all is well. So some of you, this is the relationship that is your anchor. Some through a lot of your journey. Some of you, this is a relationship that comes in after you have, like, you know, begun to awaken, and this is loving and supportive energy. This is your twin flame, all right, and it's very healing for you. Over here we have the manifestor and we have the creator. So that is wild. This right here would actually be the Emperor and the Empress in a standard tarot deck. So what I feel is you both really help each other understand. So this could be a friend that's the opposite sex of you, because we have the divine masculine and the divine feminine both showing up. And here is a manifester. Let me teach you, let me show you how to make magic in your life, how to make big changes, how to be empowered and strong and brave. And over here, it's like, let me teach you how to transform and, you know, nurture you and love you. And there is a beautiful transformation taking place. You see it right there in the card. So this relationship is very supportive for you as well as the other person. And it's like an evenly yoked connection. And I do feel it's like at the opposite gender of you. And, you know, it doesn't mean that, because a lot of people are like, oh, you know, a guy can't just be a girl's friend. That's not true. That is not true. I really feel it's based upon emotional maturity, you know, and if a male has a strong attraction to a female, then no, he shouldn't be her friend. But if it can never go anywhere. But this is where I feel like there's no physical or sexual attraction between the two of you for whatever reason, but you're opposite genders, and you just really understand each other and you help empower each other. And this could be like even somebody you work with, and you could call each other work husband and work wife, even though there's like no attraction there. That type, it's a very fun, silly connection. You guys just really get each other. But this is your love. This is your soulmate. And you're going to be very healed, and you're going to learn a lot. You're going to finally feel supported in this life journey through this connection. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I love to see that, Pisces. And we'll pull, you know, I'm sure that this is one of your heart connections, but we'll just pull a quick card for each one of the heart connections just to see, to help give you some understanding. And these are the romantic people, romantic relationships that you will have in your life, the most significant. So there will be 5, one standing out above all the others, as we've already seen. Right, the Illuminaries, Destiny, a Northern Star, a past life, Masculine Flames, Enlightened, Evolved Yang. There's your twin flame again, making itself known. 5 of Emotions, Broken Heart, Missing You, Remorse. There's definitely a broken heart. 4 of Emotions, Habit, Routine, Ungrateful. And lastly, Bringer of Emotions, Token of Affection, or Romantic Offer. All right, so of these 5 loves, these romantic connections you will have throughout this life journey, 2 of them are very significant, and that may cause you to have confusion about who your twin flame is, because remember, this karmic showed up as the Illuminaries, right? So this karmic is your karmic and your twin flame are the most significant romances you will have this lifetime. So there may be confusion within you as to who is who, and you may think this is twin flame until you actually meet this person. It's like you've got to resolve this karma first, because this is your karmic contract, and it is coming through as a romantic tie, this life journey. All right, and now this is a less significant relationship. It's not as intense as those 2, but this is definitely a relationship that you are emotionally connected to. And when it's over, or the way it ends, what happens, it absolutely breaks your heart, Pisces. It does. But this energy will pass, because this isn't who you are meant to be with. You've got that right there. And then another one of your romantic connections that are more significant is where it just kind of fizzles out. Habit, routine, ungrateful, where you guys just kind of like fall out of interest with each other, you know, and this could be you guys are together for 4 years or just a couple of years, but there's a relationship that is near and dear to your heart, but it falls away, and I feel like you guys just kind of turn into friends because the romance dies. And lastly, this right here is, I feel somebody who who is kind of in and out of your life at different points along your journey. This is just kind of like that lover that swoops in when you're low, but then they're gone just as quick. You know, I feel this person that comes in multiple times throughout your life journey is to help you through transitions from like one relationship to the next. This feels more friendly, but like a friend that there's a lot of attraction there, and it feels like an energy that kind of comes and goes. So those are, you know, the main energies for the heart connections. And then I'm just gonna pull a few more cards about this soul lesson, the main focus for this life for you. Nine of Lessons, the Creator, Activations Totem, Five of Intuition, and 10 of Manifestations. Beautiful. Pisces, yeah. So here through the Nine of Lessons, that's the unresolved energy from last lifetime, but it's coming to a completion. You're resolving it, you're wrapping up, and then here you are where you ascend, you activate, you expand, you evolve into a different being. That is a major arcana. And the Activations Totem, you have a spiritual animal around you, an animal guide that is trying to help point you and lead the way. So really pay attention to the repeating animal or insect that is showing up this entire life journey, actually, because you do have a familiar by your side. And those of you that identify as witches, there you go. What a beautiful confirmation. Next is the Five of Intuition. And this is talking about the dark night of the soul journey that you guys will go through this lifetime to shed the past. Why? So that you can finally wrap up this major life cycle, or I shouldn't say life cycle, soul cycle that you've been working on for a very long time through many different incarnations, and you're coming to the end of that. Pisces, I'm telling you, after this life, it's like there's these options that just open up for you at the soul in other worlds that you didn't have access to before. You've done a lot of work. You are a very wise and evolved being, Pisces. So those are your messages. I am sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.